Today we are going to solve O-Level Physics 5054 Paper 1 Variant 1 May-June 18 and questions from 1 to 20. Okay, it is O-Level Physics 5054 Paper 1 Variant 1 May-June 18. Question 1. Which statement about electromagnetic wave is correct? Option A. All electromagnetic waves have speeds in air of approximately 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Option B. In air, some electromagnetic waves travel faster than light. Option C. The electromagnetic waves with the largest wavelength are in the infrared region. Option D. The electromagnetic waves with the smallest wavelength are in the X-ray region. Okay, you have studied that all the electromagnetic waves, they travel with the same speed in vacuum and in air, and that speed is equal to speed of light, and its value is 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. So our option A is the correct option. All electromagnetic waves have speeds in air of approximately 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Question number 2. A student wishes to measure directly the circumference of a football. Here the important word is directly. Which of the most suitable instrument to use? Option A, calipers. Option B, a measuring tape. Option C, a micrometer. Option D, a ruler. Okay, here we can use option A and option C. We can use calipers and micrometer, but first we have to calculate the diameter of the football. Then with the help of the diameter, we can calculate circumference of the football. Here it is mentioned we have to measure directly the circumference without calculating the diameter. So option A and option C we cannot use here. Now we have to check option B and option D. In option B it is written a measuring tape. In option D it is a ruler. A ruler is used to measure the length of a straight object. But our football is not a straight object. It is a spherical object, so we cannot use a ruler. So our correct option is option B. We have to use a measuring tape. Okay, next question. The diagram shows a satellite S traveling at a constant speed in a circular orbit around a planet P. Which statement is correct? Okay, first we read the options. Option A, the resultant force on the satellite is 0. Option B, the resultant force on the satellite is in direction B. Option C, the resultant force on satellite is in direction C. Option D, the resultant force on the satellite is in direction D. Okay, here the satellite is moving around the planet. It means the satellite is moving in a circle. And when an object is moving in a circle, it is acted upon by a force that is directed toward the center of the circle, and the name of this force is centripetal force. So we can say S is acted upon by a force that is directed toward the center of the circle, and this force is centripetal force. So we can say direction of the force, direction of the resultant force is in the direction of D. So our correct option is option D. The resultant force on the satellite is in direction D. Next question. Question number 4. Which speed time graph represent the motion of a railway train making a short stop at a station? Short stop means velocity is 0. Now if we check the graphs A, B, C and D, we are looking that only in the graph C, the velocity is 0 for a short range. So we can say the option C is the correct option, because in the option C, the train is stopping, the speed is 0 for a small or a short time. So option C is the correct option. Question number 5. The minimum braking distance for a car is tested on a dry road. The test is then repeated on a wet road. What happens to the braking distance and to the frictional force between the tires and the road? Okay, road is now wet. When the road is now wet, it means friction will be decreased. And when friction will be decreased, definitely braking time will be increased. So we can say braking distance increases and frictional force decreases, and it is given in the option C. So option C is the correct option. Question number 6. Which piece of equipment is used to measure mass? Option A, balance. Option B, manometer. Option C, measuring cylinder. Option D, Newton meter. Okay, option B, manometer is used to calculate gas pressure. Option C is used to calculate volume of a liquid. Option D is used to calculate force or to calculate energy. So our remaining option is the option A. So option A is the correct option. We have to use physical balance to calculate mass. Question number 7. A body of mass 10 kg falling freely in the gravitational field close to the moon's surface has an acceleration of 1.6 meter per second square. What is the gravitational field strength of the moon? Okay, free fall is also called gravitational field strength. So free fall acceleration is given here 1.6 meter per second square. So same will be the gravitational field strength. So option B is the correct option. Gravitational field strength on the moon will be equal to 1.6 Newton per kg. Question number 8. The graph shows extension load curve of 4 fibers. Which fiber is the most difficult to stretch over the range of the loads shown? Okay, the topic is related with Hooke's law. Okay, here from the graph it is very clear that with the increase in load there is some extension in the fibers. Okay, in the fiber A we are looking with less load extension is more because here gradient is more as compared to B, C or D. Okay, the maximum gradient is in A and the minimum gradient or the least gradient is in D. So we can say that in D it will be most difficult to stretch the fiber. So correct option is option D. Question number 9. The diagram shows a muscle and bones in a person's arm. The hand holds a load of weight 40 Newton. The elbow acts as a pivot and the tension in the muscle keeps the lower part of the arm horizontal. What is the tension in the muscle due to load? Okay, here we have to calculate the tension in the muscle. Okay, here it is given that tension in the muscle keeps the lower part of the arm horizontal. It means the system is in equilibrium. Here the object is in equilibrium, so we can say clockwise moment is equal to anti-clockwise moment. Now moment is a product of force and the perpendicular distance in between the pivot and the line of action of the force. Here because of the load, moment is clockwise moment and that moment will be equal to force multiplied by perpendicular distance that is given here 35 centimeter. So we can say clockwise moment will be equal to 40 multiplied by 35 centimeter. Now here distance is given in centimeter. We have to convert this centimeter in meter. That's why we have to divide this 35 by 100. The clockwise moment is equal to 40 multiplied by 0.35. Now what about the anti-clockwise moment? In anti-clockwise moment, here the force is represented by tension in the muscle that we have to calculate. Now from tension to the pivot, the distance is given 5 centimeter, that is in meter is equal to 0.05 meter. So we can say moment because of the tension in the muscle will be equal to T multiplied by 0.05. Now by solving this one, we will get the answer T is equal to 280 Newton. So we can say tension in the muscle is equal to 280 Newton. Now we will check our options. In option C it is given 280 Newton, so it is the correct option. Question number 10. Four objects of equal mass rest on a table. The center of mass of each object is labeled G. Which object is the least stable? Okay, here we have to find out which object is least stable. For least stable, the condition is more height and lesser base area. In all the four cases, here we are looking, we have the maximum height, and here this base area is minimum. Comparing with the remaining three options, we are looking, here height is maximum and base area is minimum. So in option B, the object B is the least stable. So our correct option is option B. Question number 11. Forces of 4 Newton and 2 Newton acted at a point. Which scale diagram shows the forces that have a resultant of 4 Newton? We have the options A, B, C and D. Okay, from these four options, we cannot say exactly where the force is 4 Newton, but we can just make an estimation, and by making an estimation, we have to answer this question. Okay, first we check option D. In option D, on right hand side, a force is 4 Newton, on left hand side, force is 2 Newton, so resultant will be equal to 2 Newton. So it cannot be. Now we check option C. In option C, we have two forces and both the forces are at right angle. So when we will calculate the resultant of these two forces by applying Pythagoras theorem, we got the value of resultant that is equal to 4.47 Newton. Now 4.47 Newton is more than what is asked here. It is asked here resultant force should be 4 Newton. Now the force in option C is more than 4 Newton, so option C is also not possible. Now we have to check option A and option B. Now in option A, you see the resultant, the length of the resultant is more than the length of the resultant in option C. In option C, length was 4.47 Newton. So definitely this force or this length will be more than 4.47 Newton. So it cannot be 4 Newton. So the only remaining option is option B. So we can say option B is the correct option. The resultant force will be equal to 4 Newton in option B. Because in all the other options it is not possible. So best choice, best option is option B. So correct option is option B. Question number 12. A student calculates his power in running up a flight of stairs. He measures the vertical height of the stairs, the time taken to run up the stairs and its weight. Okay, here we have to drive a formula for calculating the power. Power is given as work upon time. Power is defined as rate of work done. Now work done, work is equal to force into displacement. Now here force is equal to weight of the object and displacement is given as height. So in place of work done, we can write weight into height. So equation for power or formula for power will be equal to weight into height over time. And weight into height over time is given in option B. So option B is the correct option. Question number 13. How does an oil-fired power station differ from a nuclear power station? Option A. Gases emitted by hot fuel are emitted into the atmosphere. Option B. Steam is produced in a boiler using hot fuel. Option C. The hot steam is used to turn a turbine. Option D. Turbines are used to drive an electric generator. Okay, option B, option C and option D are common for nuclear power station and oil-fired power station. So the remaining option is option A. So option A is the correct option. Gases emitted by hot fuel are emitted into the atmosphere in oil-fired power station. But in nuclear power station, it is not emitted into the atmosphere because in nuclear power station, radiations may be emitted out and these radiations are harmful for our health. So it is not emitted into the atmosphere. Okay, next question, question number 14. 5 blocks have the same mass but different base area. They all rest on the horizontal table. A graph is plotted to show the relationship between the pressure exerted on the table and the base area of the block. Which graph shows the relationship? Okay, here graph is straight line, here graph is curve, here graph is straight line, here graph is curve. Okay, one thing, pressure is given force per unit area. Now if we are applying the same force, then we can say pressure is inversely proportional to the area. And if we plot a graph in between two physical quantities that are inversely proportional to each other, then graph will be a curve. It cannot be a straight line. So option A and option C are not possible. Now the possible options are option B and D. Now if we look the option D, here we are looking that with the increase in area, pressure is decreasing. Here if we increase the area, pressure will decrease. So it is in accordance with this relation that P is inversely proportional to area. So option D is the correct option. Okay, next question, question number 15. Each tire of a car has an area of 100 centimeter square in contact with the ground. Okay, area 100 centimeter square. The car has a mass of 1600 kg. The weight of the car is equally distributed among the four tires. The gravitational field strength G is 10 Newton per kg. What is the pressure exerted on the ground? Okay, here we have to calculate the pressure. We have just studied that pressure is given as force over area. Now here force. Force is the weight of the car. Now what is the value of weight? Weight is a product of mass and gravitational field strength. So we can say force is equal to W and W is equal to M into G. Now M is given 1600 and G is given 10. So we can say force or weight will be equal to 1600 multiplied by 10. Now divide by area. What is the value of area? Area of one tire is equal to 100 centimeter square. In a car there are four tires, so total area will be equal to 4 multiplied by 100. Now by solving this one we will get the answer 40 Newton per centimeter. So option C is the correct option. It is equal to pressure is equal to 40 Newton per centimeter square. Question number 16. The diagram shows a simple mercury barometer which height is the measure of the atmospheric pressure. Okay, it's a very simple question. This C represents the atmospheric pressure because the pressure that is exerted by the atmosphere on the mercury column is called atmospheric pressure. So this height is called atmospheric pressure. So option C is the correct option. Question number 17. What is described as the escape of more energetic molecule from the surface of a liquid? Okay, it is definition of evaporation. So the correct option will be evaporation. Here the four options A, B, C and D. So the correct option is evaporation. Question number 18. The diagram represents four thermometers. Here we have four thermometers with different ranges and okay, we will check first what is written, what is asked here. Which thermometer has the greatest sensitivity and which thermometer has the greatest range? Okay, first we should know what is meant by sensitivity and what is meant by range. Range of a thermometer is the difference between the maximum and minimum temperatures that a thermometer can read. Okay, now we will check these four thermometers. Here the minimum range is 0, maximum is 25. So what is the range here? 25. Here 30, here 40. So range is here 10. Here 0, here 250. So what is the range here? Range is 250. Here it is 100, here 300. So what is the difference? What is the range? Here the range is 200. So the maximum range, we have checked that the maximum range is in the third one in option R. Now we will check the sensitivity. Sensitivity is the increase in length of the mercury column per unit increase in temperature. Per unit increase in temperature means here the temperature is 30, here temperature is 35. For 5 degrees centigrade, here range is this much height. Here, if we check for the 5 degree centigrade, here the difference is 5 degree centigrade from 30 to 35. For 5 degree centigrade, if we check here, the height is only up to from this point to this point. So here the height is less as compared to Q. So we can say sensitivity in P is less than sensitivity compared to Q. Now we will check the other options. In R, here the range is given from 0 to 50. Now here for the 5 degree centigrade, this height will be very small, very less height as compared to Q. Again here it is 100, it is 140. From this point to this point it is 40 degree centigrade. So for 5 degree centigrade it will be very small. So we can say the maximum height we got in option Q. So we can say sensitivity is maximum in option Q. Now sensitivity is maximum in Q and range in R. Sensitivity in Q and range in R. So correct option is option C. Question number 19. What happens when a solid is heated and expands? Okay, first we read the options. The molecules do not change size and the shapes between the molecules become larger. It is the correct option because when we will heat any solid object, the distance between the molecules increases, or we can say the space in between the molecules increases, molecules move away from each other. Okay, we read the other options. In option B, the molecule expand. No, molecules cannot expand. The separation between the molecule increases. In option C, molecule expand. In option D, molecule expand. So in all the options other than A, it is given that the molecule expand. It is not possible. So option B, C and D are out of question. Our correct option is option A. Question number 20. When a piece of smoldering rope is held at the opening of the box in the diagram, smoke moves in the direction indicated. Okay, here smoke is moving in the direction as shown here. What is responsible for the movement of the smoke? Options. Option A, convection. Option B, movement of free electrons. Option C, radiation. Option D, vibration of the molecules. Okay, here with the smoke, heat is transferring from one point to another point. And for transfer of heat, we have studied three modes, three methods. One is conduction, second is convection, third is radiation. In conduction, we have studied the molecules do not move, they just remain at their mean position, and at the mean position they vibrate, and because of the vibration heat is transferred from one point to another point. In convection, molecule transfer the heat by moving from one point to another point. Now here smoke is moving, it means here we are looking that molecules are transferring from one point to another point. So we can say here heat is transferring because of convection. So our option is option A. Correct option is option A. Okay, today we have completed up to question number 20. For remaining questions from 21 to 40, inshallah we will do in the next session. Thank you very much.